Is Ripple quietly taking over the global financial system while most people are still watching Bitcoin? Because while the world argues about ETFs and meme coins, the biggest payments network on Earth is quietly laying the groundwork for something massive. And the name Ripple keeps coming up, not by accident, but by design. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this quiet shift is one of the most important things happening in finance right now, and why Ripple may not just be competing with Swift, but quietly replacing parts of it. Now here's what most people don't realize. Swift, the global messaging system that moves over $5 trillion a day between 11,000 financial institutions, is actively preparing for a world where digital assets are standard. Not speculative, standard. They've confirmed that by 2025, they'll begin testing real-world blockchain transactions, and they're not trying to build everything from scratch. Instead, they're preparing to integrate with ISO 2022 compliant assets like XRP. The same XRP that's already being used by more than 100 banks and financial institutions, some of which were previously partnered with Swift itself. Ripple's been working in the background for years, building infrastructure, partnering with global payment providers, solving problems that nobody else wanted to touch, like FX settlement delays, cross-border fees, and liquidity sourcing. And now, thanks to partnerships with companies like Earthport, Eastnets, and ACI worldwide, Ripple's tech is already touching the Swift system indirectly. XRP is acting as a bridge asset, quietly moving value across borders in seconds instead of days, and doing it for pennies. When Brad Garlinghouse said Ripple was already signing some of the biggest Swift-enabled banks in the world, he wasn't exaggerating. The use cases are growing, the integrations are real, and the traditional finance world is starting to notice. So what happens when even a fraction of that $5 trillion in daily Swift volume starts using XRP for settlement? That's where things get interesting. Because even conservative estimates, based on velocity, token supply, and partial market share, have led analysts to float price targets from $500 to over $1,000 long term. Now, whether or not XRP ever hits those numbers isn't the point. The point is this: Swift doesn't need to be replaced entirely. Ripple just needs a piece, and they're already getting it. So the real question is, are you going to wait for a press release, or are you going to pay attention to the signals that are already here? Because once this transition is complete, most people won't even realize it happened. They'll just notice things got faster, cheaper, and more connected. And they'll never know XRP was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. If this video helped you see the bigger picture, smash that like button. It helps a lot more than you think. And if you're not following yet, now's the time. Because this is just the beginning, and I'll be breaking down every major shift as it happens.